Hey guys, and welcome to Duality 9X. Now, if you guys are interested in things that kind of make your head spin, things that like mysteries like of the unknown, things that are kind of unsolvable, things that are unexplainable, paranormal, just anything that's just weird, right, in general, and it kind of makes you think twice a little bit about, our own existence and everything that's kind of around us, and you guys are at the right place. So, to kind of kick off this channel and to kick off these series, we're going to kind of fly down to India, and I'm going to show you guys some of the stories and some of the things that kind of make me think twice about a couple things. So let's go. Okay, what did we just see there? Oh, that's disgusting. He's taking food, putting it under his armpit, and then he's putting it into the deep fryer. I'm sorry, guys. I have to apologize for this. Look, our family's from India, right? I've been there on a few occasions. We've eaten at plenty of street vendors before. Okay, so I know sometimes you hear a lot of the stories, and you got to be careful, right? When it comes to hygiene, cleanliness, and those kind of things. I'm pretty particular, myself, but sometimes you could tell. There's some good street vendors, and I used to eat with street vendors a lot. Never got sick, but I would see them preparing and cooking the food in front of me. Now, in this case, this guy does some deplorable things. He's taking food, rubbing it under his armpit, putting it into the pot, the deep fryer, and carrying on about his business. One thing about India, there is tons of people all the time, all over the place. So the fact that this guy is doing this, and to me it seems like, and somebody's filming this, so obviously the person who's filming it, first of all, I have some questions there, because they don't say anything unless this is the reason why they're filming it, because they're so disgusted, or they want to expose this individual for the the insaneness that this guy is trying to do. But nobody's saying anything, and this guy's just carrying along his he's carrying along like nonchalant, like it's like a typical ordinary day. Nobody's saying anything. Something just doesn't seem right about this guy. So, yeah, that is a very peculiar, very bizarre incident. Let's go to the next one.
Videos that can never be explained.
What the heck is that? What the heck is this, guys? Okay, there's a guy walking. It seems like he's got multiple limbs. And then there's two hands that don't look like it's his. I see two legs. One, two, three, four arms, two legs, and then there's another two more like hind arms in front of him. This totally looks photoshopped. Like let's see if there's more.
A police body cam captures lady vanishing out of nowhere.
A new video.
Hey, how's it going? I'm just speeding, wasn't I?
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I wanted to talk about things that are happening in India. This clearly doesn't look like a video about somebody in India, but here, let's just. I mean, it's part of this video, so let's just watch it.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm just speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, you completely blew past that stop sign in front of me.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. I literally didn't even see it. This is my first time being pulled over.
Oh.
Can I see your driver's
Good
license
driver.
registration, please?
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you headed to when you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's a birthday party. Not mine, but
Any?
Is there something wrong about this? Like, she just seems so giddy. Like, she seems like everything's okay. Like, there's no Like, am I missing something here? Okay, you know, she just blew past a few stop signs, like, you know, it was nobody's business and everything is fine. And, oh, it's, you know, it's my mom's car. And, yeah, this is the first time I'm being pulled over. Hold on, let me get my license and registration for you, miss, you know, to the officer. But she seems really okay. But her face, I don't know, something's off about this.
Drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No.
Is she high?
All right.
Like maybe
Thanks,
her
I'll be
eyes?
back.
I don't know.
Your registration?
There's a police car in the back. I saw
Where
that.
did she go?
Sarah?
What? Whoa, 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 what?
What the? Sarah?
I was just about to say, what the heck? I swear I was...
To dispatch help?
Whoa! She just... Okay, whoa. Hold on. She just disappeared. Let me just slowly... Okay, and then the camera goes off. Not even 2 seconds later, she's completely gone. Freeze. Where did she go? Something's not right here. When the camera turned to the right for that brief couple seconds, is it possible that the woman was kind of going down like this, and then maybe she's kind of like a contortionist or something? Maybe she's like really flexible, and then she just kind of, you know, on the bottom there, like, you know, like you know, on the car floor maybe, and you can't see her because the camera doesn't actually look inside the vehicle. That's still kind of odd. That's very weird. And there's a police car right behind them. So was this actually an officer, or was maybe there's other like officers who that car clearly belongs to, and they're like investigating something else, and you know, a couple people just randomly wanted to do this quick little prank. Hold on. Okay, that was it. So that is weird. All right, let's see if you can find some Indian content here, guys. I'm still puzzled about that.
A father takes his dog and his daughter out for a walk late at night, and while recording them.
Okay, guys, look. Something's not working here. I'm trying to talk about weird things that are happening in India, and I don't know. I don't think this is India because there's a lot of snow in this video. But you know what? We started this, so let's finish it.
Captures something disturbing on camera. Mark Rosbach, the father who submitted the video, writes, "I was filming my daughter and dog playing, but then all of a sudden, my daughter sees something in between the buildings that were across from us. This is the footage that was caught."
See the dog running. This seems like a woman's walking and she's pointing somewhere. What is she pointing to? Oh, right there, right there, right there, right there. What the heck is that? Okay, it... You see, so I see it there right now. So, I don't know. Is this real? It looks like somebody on a surfboard. Like the Silver Surfer, maybe. Fantastic Four. A witch on a broom. Okay. I got some questions, but let's see. Now they kind of... Footage is always grainy, right? And it's always and it's dark.
In the distance, there appears to be someone or something floating above ground.
I see that right there.
It goes without saying, but Mark was left terrified when he saw this. Now, it wasn't until rewatching the footage a few days later that he spotted the mysterious figure. Immediately after seeing it...
Okay, Sorry, guys, I cut that. Let's just hear.
Mysterious figure. Immediately after seeing it, he thought he had captured a Kovito, which is a mythic ghost-like entity that is said to roam all over Greenland.
Kovito.
Whatever it was, Mark had been left unsettled by it, as well as others who've seen the footage, as it looks like a corpse that's floating in midair. But of course, it could be something else.
Could be something
I'll let
else.
you come up with your own opinion.
Okay, guys. A cavito. A cavito. I've never heard of a cavito before. There are some people who could have that as a nickname, perhaps. Look, I'm not trying to make jokes here, but here's what kind of puzzles me a little bit. So this couple is walking with their dog, right? Everything's normal. It's snowy, the dog's just having a great time, and all of a sudden, the woman stops and points off into the distance. So the husband's like, okay, I guess his name is Mark, and he points the camera into this, to the direction where his wife or girlfriend or whoever it was kind of pointing off into the distance. So clearly he's videotaping something. What kind of was interesting is the fact that it was after, when he was editing, I guess, this footage, and then he saw this figure. So okay, I guess that kind of makes sense, right? He didn't see it right at the time because everything was just, it happened in real time, and he's probably just confused, like, okay, what am I looking at here? I thought we were just going for a walk, and oh, wait a minute, you want me to point my camera into that direction? So maybe at that time he didn't catch it. Okay, that kind of makes sense. I get it. Because I was wondering if he saw it, then all of a sudden he didn't, he only noticed it after he was editing this footage. But I guess that would make sense because there was no franticness. They didn't seem like caught off guard. But the woman clearly saw an anomaly. She clearly saw something that wasn't right and shouldn't have been there. And she seemed pretty calm about it. And maybe her mind is still trying to piece together what exactly that was, and couldn't really come to an understanding as to whether it was something that was scary or something that was just kind of weird, like it just didn't make sense. It's possible. That was interesting.
Yeah. Ghost or not?
Yeah, I don't know.
Feel free to let me know what you think.
Ghosts or not? No idea. No idea. That was kind of weird. Yeah, that's always kind of weird, right? You're just... But, I mean, this couple's walking with their dog, and he just happened to be videotaping their walk at nighttime when it's dark, it's grainy. It didn't seem like there was anything special about where they were walking. It didn't seem like there was anything that... it wasn't like they were walking past Central Park and they're taking some video and, of the buildings in Central Park and, they're just walking in an area that didn't seem like there was a lot of people, and it was really quiet. It seemed like it was after hours. Most people were already indoors. Why did he have his camera on? Why? That's kind of weird, right? Anyways. Let's see if you can find some content relevant to what we were talking about.
So you know how they wanted to wipe down the indigenous people and their history?
Right. No, this one doesn't seem like... Okay, hold on.
So natural for them to do it to the indigenous, but the Tartarians were also their own people.
Tartarians. I've heard of Tartarians before.
But you're saying Putin was trying to release what's behind the ice wall.
Tell us about the Tartarians. He wants to teach us about a lost history, he says. Supposedly.
No,
I don't know if it's true.
With everything that I'm saying, though, they live behind the ice wall, that map. That's what's behind the other side of the ice wall, according to Putin.
But there's so much. You have to read it. You have to look into it. Okay.
You really can't go into the website?
Oh, it's called Yandex.
Yandex. Let me see.
Yandex.
And that's what it looks like, yeah. There you go. Yep, that's definitely a Yandex.
Yandex.
There y'all go. Y'all have nothing to do. Google that, and everybody's gonna Google what? Tartarian's Empire.
Tartarian's Empire.
All right. So you heard it.
I still don't know what's going on here.
It pulls up.
Now, I'm not saying it's real whatsoever, right? But could there be a possibility that that's the way it looks on the other side of that ice wall in Antarctica? Now, to me, if there's not anything on the other side of that ice wall, why do they guard it so much? Why is it not allowed to just explore and go out there and just see for ourselves what's over there?
You would think, right?
Why is it guarded so much? Now, like I said before, I'm not saying this is real.
Wow, that looks...
Look at all the intricate details. Look at this city. Now,
that looks kind of cool, futuristic.
I know there's a lot of maps that do talk about cities underneath the ice caps, and even on the other side of these ice caps. And there's even maps out there, which I am going to show one. So could these maps show beyond the ice wall? And also, are there passages where you could get beyond the ice barrier as well? So let me know what you think about Antarctica. And if there was an exploration that you could get on, would you go to Antarctica?
لماذا جعلوا الأرض؟ احنا راح نتكلم في حدود معينة، هو حدود العلم. إذا قلنا أن الأرض كروية، فالكرة معروفة حدودها ومعروفة قاراتها وخلاص حدود. لكن عندما نقول أن الأرض عظيمة ممتدة وحدودنا التي علمنا هي هذه القارات، لكن هل هناك غيرنا؟ نعم، هناك غيرنا في هذه الأرض الذي يسمونه القطب الجنوبي. لا يوجد شيء اسمه القطب الجنوبي، بل نقول جوانب الأرض. ما بعد الجديد توجد بوابة عظيمة جدا الدول العظمى على علم بها.
There's a great gate that leads to a different land that has various civilizations. And petroleum, crude oil, exists in these lands. That's where crude oil comes from. Wow. Okay, guys, we're completely going off the cup here, but okay, so there's so many different stories here. Okay, so let's just kind of go backwards here. So this guy's talking about how petroleum and crude oil actually doesn't come from animals. Like, we're talking, how there's fossil fuels, and when all these dinosaurs died and they got buried into the ground, and then that's where a lot of the fuel comes from, right? Fossil fuels and plants and the decay of different animals and mammals, but apparently it doesn't. According to this individual, it comes from a different area, which is in a different land, and somehow that's related to this ice wall in Antarctica. And so I guess the first video was, they were talking about this lady. It looked kind of like she was like a government worker, or maybe was visiting a friend or something. And that's kind of what I was envisioning, or like kind of getting a sense that perhaps maybe he's talking to somebody who might have some kind of special government secrets or information that she's just relaying back to this individual. I don't know what the relation is. Ice wall in Antarctica, and it's interesting. Petroleum, is that clear? It's not very clear to me, but if I were to go back, the co-worker is woke. She'd be using different browsers from around the world, and they all say something differently. So his grammar's a little off, but we're not here to judge him on that. We're trying to get to the context of what's going on here. I'm still a little bit confused. If you guys understand, okay, if there's something here that you guys understand when it comes to flat Earth, or when it comes to something about this ice wall in Antarctica, I'd be more than happy to learn more about it. Please send me a message, send me an email. Perhaps maybe this is something I can cover in some future videos, but something doesn't make sense to me. Perhaps maybe it's because of my limited understanding about the context, about the topic of what's being discussed here. And then this guy talks about, he has maps apparently, and there's maps, I guess, of, civilizations and cities that are on the other side of this ice wall. And I mean, this looks very futuristic to me. It looks like something from Star Wars, or some kind of a colony of individuals, and it looks like there's some like lush green kind of land there, and then there's some water. Anyways, probably have to cover that more another time. So okay, let's and then the last guy, he was talking about where crude oil's coming from, and I guess that had to segue, I guess that it had some kind of relevance to some of the things they're talking about, this ice wall. And okay, okay, so now we're kind of getting some Indian content here, and they're talking in Hindi, they're talking in another language, so I'm going to do my best to kind of translate. So let's see if we can start from the beginning here.
मेरे को ना ऐसी नॉर्मली किसी ने बोल दिया भाई कि एक रोड है हरियाणा में, उस रोड पे अगर तू जाएगा ना.
Okay, so apparently there's this road in a place in Punjab that somebody was telling him about this road, and maybe he should go and visit. He should go drive down.
तेरे साथ कुछ ना कुछ जरूर होगा पैरानॉर्मल, लेकिन शर्त ये तू अकेले जा. तो मैं अकेले, मैंने गाड़ी उठाई और मैं अकेले कैमरा लेके निकल गया रिकॉर्ड. पूरी रोड में मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि भाई टाइम वेस्ट हो गया. तो यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं हुआ. लेकिन बात जब
Okay, so maybe you don't understand. Maybe you do, maybe you don't understand what he's saying, but somebody was telling him about, hey, you should go check out this road. So maybe this individual, I don't know who this person is, but maybe this is what they do, right? I mean, kind of like what we're doing, right? Talking about things that are unknown, that are mysterious, things that are, unexplainable. And maybe in that conversation with somebody, they told them about this particular road, and they're like, hey, you need to go on this road because usually, most often the case, something happens on these roads. Now, somebody were to tell me that, I'm probably not going to go on that road, because what does that mean, something usually happens? Nope, not for me. But let's continue. Oh.
बोल दिया भाई कि एक रोड है हरियाणा में, उस रोड पे अगर तू जाएगा ना तेरे साथ कुछ ना कुछ जरूर होगा.
So something could happen,
शर्त ये तू अकेले जा.
but you have to go alone.
मैंने गाड़ी उठाई और मैं अकेले कैमरा लेके.
So he started driving his car, had his camera set up.
ऐसा लगा कि भाई टाइम वेस्ट हो गया. तो यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं हुआ. लेकिन
So he was driving, casually with his camera, filming, and he said, this is just kind of like a time waste. Nothing's really happening. There's nothing really special or exciting about this road.
बात जब आगे हमने एडिटिंग में देखा ना, तो जैसे ही मैंने वो जर्नी स्टार्ट करी ना उस रोड की, कुछ वाइट कलर में खेतों के बीच में से जाता हुआ कैप्चर हो रहा है. अब वो मेरी नजर में नहीं आया, लेकिन वो कैमरा में रिकॉर्ड हुआ है.
Okay, so after he gets back and he starts to edit the video footage, he notices that, and although he didn't see it at first, right, it didn't catch his senses, he wasn't able to notice it when he was driving, but his camera caught some kind of an anomaly in white, and I think they were showing it here, but
हाँ, और वो ऐसा लग रहा है, मतलब अब वो जानवर भी नहीं हो सकता.
Can't be an animal.
बहुत ही अजीब शेप है उसकी.
It was a weird shape.
ऐसा लग रहा है अजीब सा, और वो चल के गया प्रॉपर, और उसका फेस भी नहीं है कोई.
And there's no face to this thing.
कैप्चर हुआ, और
But he captured it.
और फिर जब मैं आगे गया ना, मतलब मेरे को लगा कि ये रोड खत्म होने वाली है, और कम से कम 1-1.5 घंटे मैं वहाँ पे रुका. 1-1.5 घंटे बाद क्या हुआ?
Okay, so anyway, so this guy, he caught something, his camera caught something on the video footage. Thought it was just a waste of time, just, like old wise tale, somebody egged him on or told him to go driving down this road, because usually you will see something's going to happen, and I think that intrigued him to make this trip. Goes on this excursion, doesn't catch anything with the naked eye, goes back, starts to edit the footage, and lo and behold, He sees this anomaly, something in white. Can't be an animal because it was walking, I guess, normally, like I guess maybe a human, but it didn't have a face to it either. And then a video just kind of ended. So I'll see if I can get a little bit more information on this, and then maybe we can do a follow-up video. Let's see if there's another video that we can kind of talk about.
ये दिल्ली कैंट आपकी दिल्ली कैंट की एक रोड है, वो हॉन्टेड है। बताते हैं कि गाड़ी की जो स्पीड के साथ में ही कोई औरत भागती है। तो बेसिकली वहाँ हुआ क्या था कि स्कूल है वहाँ पे, कोई आर्मी स्कूल है साथ में, वहाँ से किसी बच्चे की छुट्टी।
Okay, hold on, let's start from the beginning here. I think I missed some of this.
दिल्ली कैंट की एक रोड है, वो हॉन्टेड है। बताते हैं कि गाड़ी की
Okay, had some technical difficulties there, guys. So apparently there's this one particular road in New Delhi, and it's probably one of the most haunted roads or haunted places, and he's talking about, he's trying to get into it. I'm trying to get an understanding as to why it's haunted. But I guess someone had died there. I think a female or somebody had died, and he's talking about
स्पीड के साथ में ही कोई औरत भागती।
Yeah, okay, so
तो बेसिकली वहाँ हुआ क्या था कि स्कूल है वहाँ पे, कोई आर्मी स्कूल है।
Okay, there's an army school close by.
बच्चे की छुट्टी हो रही थी, उसकी मम्मी उसको लेने आई हुई थी।
There's an army school close by, and I guess it was this kid's oh, okay, so some kind of a holiday or something coming up, so the mother was coming up to pick up her child from the army school.
एक गाड़ी से उस बच्चे का एक्सीडेंट हो गया था।
Oh no.
वो मर गया था। तो वो बताते हैं कि जो गाड़ी वाला था वो की पावरफुल बंदे।
Okay, so you know, she was en route to try to go pick up her child, and then I guess the child was walking on the road, and then a car came and struck the child. Not good. And apparently the person behind the wheel of this vehicle was a very powerful individual, I guess somebody of importance and relevance, somebody of wealth perhaps.
भाई था कुछ बेटा ऐसा कुछ, तो कोई उस लड़की को, उस औरत को इंसाफ नहीं मिल पाया था। तो उसने वहीं पर आकर सुसाइड कर लिया था।
Sorry guys, it's kind of cut up. I'm not understanding here. So that individual ended up killing himself, and I can't. So yeah, okay.
तो उसके बाद से वहाँ पर दिखती है अब जो।
Yeah, sorry guys, it's just a very short one. So now if you keep going down this road, and there's a good chance you might run into this being, this person, this spirit.
आप एक भूत को बुलाते हो जो बाथटब में मरा था।
Okay, so this next video has 3 parts to it. So I think we're going to get a little bit more context, a little bit more. We're going to get a little bit of a story here, so we can kind of walk ourselves through this. Let me just kind of.
दिल्ली की नंबर 1
आप
Here we go.
एक भूत को बुलाते हो जो बाथटब में मरा था। ठीक है, दारुमा सेन नाम है। ठीक है, तो इस गेम को खेलने का रिचुअल ये है कि आपको बाथटब चाहिए होता है। जापान में बहुत ज़्यादा।
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so this video is talking about a game, a challenge, I guess some people like to play, and it has to do with conjuring, calling up like a spirit by their name. I mean, without really kind of going into this video, I'm just going to take a wild guess, probably like Bloody Mary, right? I mean, you probably heard the story of Bloody Mary, and you say the name too many times or whatever, but you got to do it you can't just say the names and hope that something's going to pop up, but you got to do these, different kind of series of things, and I think this is probably along those lines. But in this case, there's a particular entity that you can call up. Why on earth would you want to call anything up first, like anything scary, a spirit or ghost? That's beyond me. But anyways, that's why we do these videos, I guess, right? To talk about these things. But apparently, in order for you to play this game, they call it a game, you need to have a bathtub. So clearly, you got to do this in the bathroom. And let's see.
तो इस गेम को खेलने का रिचुअल ये है कि आपको बाथटब चाहिए होता है।
Okay.
और
So you need a
जापान में
bathtub.
बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब हर घर में एक बाथटब है लगभग।
Okay.
तो आप जाते हो, लाइटें सारी ऑफ करके आप बाथटब में बैठते हो, नहाते हो,
Oh.
सारे कपड़े उतार के आपको नहाते
Ooh, and there's some scary sounds here already. So they're trying to add to the whole feel of this video, and I'm getting sold on it. It is pretty kind of freaky. So apparently you have to be in the bathtub. Lights have to be off. Okay.
हैं। और बाल धोते समय आपको दारुमा सेन को बुला।
Oh, no clothes. Of course, he's saying you don't have to. You're not supposed to have any clothes on. Like, who takes a shower or goes into the bath with their clothes on? Anyways, you're washing your hair and everything like that, and then you got to call this spirit's name.
दारुमा सेन, दारुमा सेन, दारुमा सेन, ऐसे आवाज लगा के दारुमा सेन। तो और आंखें बंद करके करते हैं, ठीक है? आपको आंखें खोलनी
You got to close your eyes while you're doing all this, by the way.
कि कोई आपके सामने आके खड़ा है और वो गिरा है बाथटब में नल के ऊपर, टैप के ऊपर।
Oh.
और उसकी नल से आंख टूटी।
Yay! Okay, so you got to call the spirit by their name. You got to be taking a shower or sitting in the bathtub, and you got to do all this with your eyes closed, and then you feel this presence of this spirit. Apparently, the spirit would fall and hit their head against the faucet, with the faucet going into the spirit's eye. And it's supposed to feel all this. So apparently maybe this is how the spirit passed away. This person passed away, became a spirit. That's probably what led to that, those unfortunate events. But meanwhile, while you're supposed to be feeling all this, right? You're supposed to be feeling this presence, but you have to keep your eyes closed.
फील होगा आपको, लेकिन आपको आंख नहीं खुलेगी यहाँ पे।
Can't open your eyes.
पानी में ना आपको ऐसा लगेगा कोई आपको
Oh.
पकड़ रहा है, लेकिन अगेन आपको फिर से आंख नहीं खुलेगी। और उसके बाद
Okay. So it gets even, juicier here. So while all this is going on, then all of a sudden you're going to feel this presence trying to grab onto you. And while they're doing that, you still have to refrain from opening your eyes. Now, I don't know, guys. If somebody's trying to grab me while I'm in the shower, I am going to be kicking, punching, screaming. My eyes are going to be open. I don't know how somebody is supposed to remain calm when somebody's grabbing you. And first of all, nobody's supposed to even be there while you're taking the shower. All of a sudden, something's trying to grab you, and you're supposed to be calm about this and not keep your eyes open. Wow. I don't think I can do that.
आपको वहाँ से उठ के बाहर जाना है कमरे से, उसके बाद आप आओ।
Oh.
आँख बंद में ही कमरे से बाहर जाना। हाँ, धीरे-धीरे गए तो आपका रिस्क, वो आपका रिस्क।
Oh.
और खुल गई तो वो भी आपका रिस्क है, वो आपका ले जाएगा, वो आपका रिस्क है, वो कभी छोड़ेगी नहीं।
Oh, wow.
आपका पीछा नहीं छोड़ेगी, कभी ऐसा बना है। तो एक जापान की लड़की ने ये गेम ट्राई किया था, उसने पूरा ये किस्सा ना अपनी एक डायरी एंट्री में लिखा था। तो वो बाद में डायरी एंट्री पता लगी तो
Okay.
बाहर आया और वो ऐसे ही खेल रही थी वांटेड बात में। उसने पूरा ये सब किया।
I'll translate, guys. Okay. So once you're finished taking the shower, then you're supposed to leave the bathroom with your eyes closed. You cannot open your eyes while you're in the bathroom. Okay, so you're drying yourself off at the towel. You leave the bathroom premises, and then when you're in your room, you can open your eyes. Okay, so you have to follow along. And I guess this is what this person's saying. Then closer to the end of this little short, this individual is saying that there was a girl who was trying this stunt, this challenge, and she was kind of documenting everything on in her diary. So that's kind of where part 1 kind of ends. So let's look at part 2.
उसके बाद जब वो कमरे से बाहर आ गई तब उसे लगा सब नॉर्मल है, कुछ ऐसा हुआ होगा, कुछ शायद ऐसे फील हुआ होगा प्रेजेंस, बट वो शायद पानी का, उसे लगा कि ये सब हुआ होगा, जो आवाज़ हुई शायद कुछ होगा, लेकिन उसने ना ये सब चलता है, देखते हैं क्या होता है आगे, क्या होता है।
Okay, so this individual, so they're in their room, they opened their eyes, everything started to feel kind of normal again. Whatever she felt, whatever she heard in the bathroom, I mean, she kind of passed it off as, yeah, that was supposed to happen. That was part of the challenge. So she fulfilled that end of her obligation, or she was satisfied to the point, well, that's what it was, and whatever, she can't explain it, it's done, it's gone, move on. And that's kind of what he's talking about right now. So
तो अब वो बाहर जा रही है, अब वो जब भी मतलब वो सो गई उस रात, अगली रात जब वो उठी, अगली सुबह जब वो उठी तो उसे ना हर जगह ऐसा लग रहा है कि कोई एक आंख वाली औरत उसे देखे जा रही है, जिसकी एक आंख फूटी हुई है।
What?
ठीक है।
Okay, so everything was normal. Then she goes to bed. As soon as she wakes up, she's seeing this person. She feels his presence, and then she sees the one-eyed woman. Everywhere she's looking. So not a good start to the morning.
और वो हर जगह उसे ना दिखे जा रही है बार बार। अब वो थोड़ी सी पगलाने लगी इस चीज़ से। उस दिन छुट्टी थी उसकी, तो उसकी मॉम से ग्रोसरी स्टोर ले गई।
Okay, so she's getting kind of paranoid here, feeling a little uneasiness, restlessness, her mom in the morning's like, hey, I gotta go grocery shopping, and I guess it was her, chutti means kind of like, day off, right? And so maybe this woman was day off from her school, or maybe from work, or be it as it may, whatever it is, she had the day off, so she accompanied her mom to go grocery shopping. So let's see.
तो ग्रोसरी स्टोर लेके गई उसे, उसने कुछ सामान पकड़ रखा था अपने हाथ में। अचानक से मॉम ने उसे बुलाया, मॉम की तरफ उसने देखा, और जब वापस देखा तो उसके हाथ में वो सामान नहीं था, उसकी कटी हुई मुंडी थी। ठीक है, तो उसके हाथ से वो सामान मतलब वो छूट गया।
Okay, so they're going grocery shopping, and everything seems to be okay, and then the mom puts some items in her daughter's hands. She's like, here, hold this. And so the daughter looks at it, and she sees the head of this spirit in her hands. So naturally, she just, in a fear, like of just at the moment, she just dropped everything. And then upon looking at the contents on the ground, it just happened to be the items that her mom put in her hands, like, the grocery items and stuff. So is this woman hallucinating now? Is she, like, is she going under some kind of paranoia? Like, starting to, let's see. Yeah, so now she's feeling kind of uneasiness and getting a little worried. So even as they're going home from the grocery store, she's seeing this woman following her everywhere. Yeah, so she's wondering. She's wondering, how is this woman following her when the game is supposed to end? Now, again, like this individual wasn't really talking about the rules of the game. We didn't kind of cover that, in the first part here of his video. But apparently, I guess it's my understanding that she thought it was over. It was done. Like, okay, she felt whatever she felt. She heard whatever she heard. And that's it. That was the end of it as soon as she got into her room. And then she went to bed. But the next morning, she's starting to see this spirit everywhere she goes. It followed her to the grocery store. She sees the head of this. Yeah, anyway, she sees this lady a lot more than she was hoping to, and realizing that, she's like, she needs to do something. She needs to end this game. So clearly the game was not ended, and now this guy's talking about you have to say this particular word to end the game. And so now she's trying to do that, but in order for that to happen, how does she end the game? And the video ends, but there's a part 3, so I guess we're gonna find out how you end this game.
और उसने और देखा कि कैसे इसे एंड करा जाए गेम, तो उसने कहा आपको वापस से बाथटब में जाके रात जिस टाइम पे थे तो आपको और 24 घंटे में आपको खत्म भी करना है।
Oh, okay. So you got to go back into the bathroom.
ने बाथटब में पानी भरा और वापस से उसे बुलाने का ट्राई किया।
And you got to reverse engineer this whole thing. Okay, so she's supposed to go back in order to end this game. You got to say this word. You got to go back into the bathroom, kind of reverse engineer your steps, right? So she's going into the bathroom in efforts of repeating her steps, so that when she, and of course the lights are off and everything. Okay, but here something doesn't make sense to me. Hold on.
किट्टा बोलने से पहले गायब हो गई। अब वो बहुत परेशान हो गई है वो, और तो ना बिल्कुल ऐसा होता है ना कि तुम कोई साया तुम पे चढ़ के बैठा हुआ है।
Okay, what? Okay, maybe I missed something here. But okay, so in order to end this game, she has to go back into the bathroom, go back into the bathtub or take a shower. And then when she sees the presence, she's supposed to say this thing, this word. And it's supposed to then make her disappear. But every time she's trying to say this word, like, so she's seeing this spirit in front of her. And then she's saying this word in efforts of making her disappear. But every time she's about to say the word, the spirit disappears. But here's my question, right? In the first part, to see the spirit, or to feel the spirit, I guess, she didn't actually see the spirit the first time she was doing this because her eyes were supposed to be closed. So I don't know if, so something doesn't make sense here. If she was supposed to repeat her steps, wasn't she supposed to go back into the tub and have her eyes closed during this whole thing? Well, clearly she didn't do that, right? She I guess she was allowed to have her eyes open, and I guess that would make sense, because how else is she supposed to, follow through with ending the game? So I guess it's different. The first time you're supposed to keep your eyes closed. Second time, to end the game, you got to keep your eyes open, I guess.
तो तुम कैसे हो जाओगे? तुम एकदम रेस्टलेस हो जाओगे कि हो क्या रहा है, और ऐसे हैवी लगेगा तुमको पूरा टाइम. तो उसे हैवी लग रहा है, वो उसके पेरेंट्स देख रहे हैं कि क्या हो रहा है इससे, तो उसके पेरेंट्स उसे सुला देते हैं और उसके पेरेंट्स उसे गोली देके सुला देते हैं.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. So she's really frustrated. It didn't work. She feels like this presence is like hugging her, like really like tightly gripped on her. She's having some challenges trying to go to bed apparently, and so her parents gave her some medicine for her to go to sleep, and she did that.
24 घंटे बीत जाते हैं.
Oh.
जब उसकी आँख खुलती है तो वो देखती है कि 24 घंटे हो चुके हैं.
Okay.
और अब
And then so she wakes up in the morning, or whenever she wakes up, and she, I guess she was able to go to sleep with the help of the medicine and stuff. And then she realizes that the 24-hour period is gone. It's done. It's over.
वो उसके सामने दारुमा सेन आ रही है, बेटा बोल रही है.
Gosh. And then of course she opens her eyes, realizing that the 24-hour period is gone, and she sees this anomaly still in front of her. Oh, what?
उसकी बॉडी बाथटब में मिलती है, बड़ी न्यूज़ लगी.
Oh.
बाथटब में मर जाती है, और ये सब उसकी डायरी में उसने लिखा होता है जो उसके पेरेंट्स पढ़ते.
Oh. Okay. So, yeah. So an unhappy ending. So, she woke up in the morning realizing that, and seeing this weird spirit in front of her. Clearly it didn't work. The 24-hour period is gone, so obviously now the spirit is attached to her. And then this individual who's relaying the story said that after 2-3 days, they found the girl's or woman's body in the bathtub. That's sad. So she passed away, and I think her parents wrote in her diary. They got hold of the diary, and they wrote that part, that after 2-3 days that the daughter passed away. Now, why would they carry on that story, like write it in the girl's diary? I don't know. There's all kinds of stories. There's all kinds of things that are happening, and it's, and again, we're just trying to focus on one area here. Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, so that was that. Interesting, huh? I think we got a couple more here.
Another scary story, and this one comes from New Delhi, India. So when I
New
was
Delhi.
11, me
It's
and
a nice
my
place.
cousins, who was 13 at the time, visited India and New Delhi like every year. However, this year our mom decided to take us to the village, as me and my cousin have never gone there before. I just know that they regretted their decision after this. We went to the village and immediately got changed into our night suits, so pajamas, as we had reached at 1 a.m. in the morning and needed to go to sleep. My night suit, pajamas, was purple and hers was red.
Oh,
in villages, it is forbidden to wear red as it attracts spirits. But when we were 11, we didn't believe in
That's a
stuff
lot
like
of
this,
folklore, like a lot of
It's
mythology,
real.
a lot of
Me and my
legends.
cousin and her sister
Not supposed to
were
wear
23
red.
at the slept in one room and everyone else in another. We thought this would be a fun sleepover type of thing until we started hearing banging noises coming from the outside. We were
Okay, first of all, so they're going on this trip. They've gone to Delhi a few times before, but this time the mom wants to take them into a gaon, a village, which they haven't been before. And you know, their cousin, I guess, was wearing red, and she was wearing purple pajama night suits. And now apparently what's happening is that they heard some weird banging against the door at night. Now, I've gone to India before. I've stayed in villages, briefly. I never heard any kind of banging or anything like that on my door, and usually that wouldn't be from an animal. And she's saying that it could have been an animal. Who knows? Could have been something else. So already this is starting to get a little scary.
too scared, but my older cousin told us it's probably the animals outside and there's nothing to worry about. I was too scared, so I went and I slept in the other room with all the adults. However, my 13-year-old cousin and her sister, who's 23, stayed in that room. The next morning, I woke up to screaming coming from the other room, only to hear my aunt screaming at my cousin for wearing red. However, my cousin remained silent, which was odd, and she is not one to keep silent. She usually would argue back. My aunt immediately made her change her clothes, and she did. However, after this, things started to go strange. That day, we decided to visit temples, as we had never visited any temples in the village before. The whole journey, my cousin was silent, which was unusual, as she is not the quiet type. She's a chatty person. I brushed it off until we reached the temple. Just at the entrance of the temple, she refused to come in. My aunt got angry and held her hand and dragged her in.
So her cousin refused to go into the temple. Why did she refuse to go into the temple? And apparently, this lady, the way she's reiterating the fact that her cousin seems to be kind of a chatterbox, pretty giddy, pretty I guess kind of like a social butterfly, very talkative, who knows, but completely opposite, right? So she seems a little bit maybe more reserved. Interesting.
At that point, my cousin was screaming horrendously and bit my aunt.
Whoa.
She was acting like an animal.
She
my
bit
aunt
her.
Jumped and got scared and immediately told us all to go inside and get the priest
Right.
from the temple. We went inside and told the priest about my cousin's behavior, and he told us he would check if there's anything wrong.
Okay, so this cousin freaks out, acts like an animal, bites the hand. Okay, so now they're all worried, they're all freaking out, and they all go inside into the temple to talk to the priest, to tell him what's going on. Was anyone out there with her cousin? Was anyone out there kind of talking to her? Do you notice something else about this video? Do you notice that this person who's relaying this information to us, they're reading something, right? So I don't know if this is off a computer screen or if they're reading like a teleprompter. They're reading something. So usually, okay, if something like this happened, and if you're, storytelling, right? When you're trying to talk about something, wouldn't you talk off of what you remember from your memory? And you wouldn't need a script or anything. And I'm not saying this is fabricated stuff or anything like that. I'm just saying that wouldn't you just be able to relay what you want to relay just off of your memory? But unless she's trying to articulate this in so many words and wants to be pretty clean, with her grammar and everything like that, so maybe she wrote it down and she's just kind of reading it that way. That's possible.
However, by the time we went outside to get my cousin, she was gone.
Okay, so they went in to see the priest.
I was very worried and began to cry, and the whole village went on a search.
Nobody was there with their cousin outside when they went to go talk to the priest. Obviously, now the cousin disappeared.
To find her. However, we saw her on the roof of one of the houses. One of the villagers claimed they saw her jump off the roof in one single leap. However, others said she was demanding for water in a very deep voice that did not sound like a girl's.
Okay, so the cousin ran away, and I don't know how many people went to go look for her, and in the end, they spotted her on top of somebody's roof and demanded for water. Some people were saying that the cousin was demanding water in a very, like a different kind of voice, obviously, like very deep and whatever. Perhaps maybe she was possessed. But then she jumped right off the building like Spider-Man or something, and
my cousin does not have a deep voice at all. She has a very soft voice. By the time my grandma came, she looked very scared and worried. She claimed that my cousin had been possessed. That was pretty obvious,
See?
so we called the priest over to
Isn't that what I just
conduct
said?
an exorcism type of thing. However, my cousin was still missing and
Okay.
was nowhere to be found. We waited for hours searching for her, but couldn't find her. Then when the priest finally came, we finally saw my cousin. She looked happy and fine and was acting as if nothing happened. We were confused but happy that she wasn't possessed anymore until it was nighttime.
oh no.
A villager claimed they
Okay,
had
hold
seen
on,
my
hold
cousin-
on, hold on. So she goes missing. They called a pundit, which is a priest, and they brought him over to the house, wanting to do some kind of exorcism rituals to help her cousin. But of course, her cousin wasn't around because last we know, she jumped off a building, off of somebody's roof, and nowhere to be found. And so everyone's sad because they don't know where she is. And then all of a sudden, she mysteriously shows up, and she's happy, and she's acting like nothing happened. So everybody's happy again. You know what? It's all good. Something just people go through this all the time. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Have you ever ridden a subway in New York? You see some crazy things there. Maybe this is just one of those things, right? I mean, things happen. She just kind of, I don't know, maybe drank the wrong thing, or swallowed a pill, or something happened. Whatever. She's back to normal. Everything's good until nighttime.
On her hands and knees at the water well, licking the water.
Whoa, what did I miss?
The priest over to conduct an exorcism type of thing. However, my cousin was still missing and was nowhere to be found. We waited for hours searching for her, but couldn't find her. Then when the priest finally came, we finally saw my cousin. She looked happy and fine and was acting as if nothing happened.
So we got to this
We
point.
were confused but happy that she wasn't possessed anymore until it was nighttime. A villager claimed they had seen my cousin on her hands and knees at the water well, licking the water. However, we knew she was lying as my cousin was inside the house. So just in case, if she wasn't lying, we went back inside the house to see if my cousin was there. And she was. It was time to sleep, so we had to change into her pajamas, night suits again. This time, my cousin was very hesitant to change into her pajamas, night suit. She kept refusing to change into it and wanted to change into a different gown. Until my aunt grabbed her by the hand, revealing an abnormal amount of body hair. We didn't think much of it, but then my older cousin, her sister, realized that my cousin doesn't have a gown like that. It was an old gown with roses embedded on it. We must not have realized, as we were so excited to see her not being possessed. However, clearly something was off. Sitting in the corner was my grandma, who was observing everything. She aggressively pushed my cousin out of the house and started chanting Indian prayers, like Hindu mantras. My aunt was furious, as my grandma is gentle with everyone. And then my grandma shouted out in Hindi, "Bloody jinn," and pushed her to the ground, revealing her feet that were covered from the long gown. Her feet were backwards, and I started to notice her facial expressions
Whoa.
change.
Okay,
Her skin
so yeah, what she's referring to in Indian, call it legend, like things that we hear about. There's these people like witches or people that have feet that are backwards. They're pointed backwards. We call them chirels. And she's referring to that here. So the grandma seems unconvinced, about the cousin and about the cousin's current state. And it's just kind of quietly observing in the background. Cousin's acting a little funny and a little weird, and puts on this gown, this night suit that looks quite old, a little different than what they normally would wear. I mean, you would clearly know what your clothes are, what clothes you don't have, and who knows where it came from. So then the grandma obviously realizes, grandma's old school, right? She realizes something's not right here, pushes the cousin outside the house, and is chanting these mantras and prayers. And let's see.
To darken. My cousin was a fair girl. Her skin looked almost as if it was burned in a brutal way. She snarled as she then started to dance horrifyingly, jumping very high and moving about very crazy.
Whoa.
This definitely wasn't my cousin.
So it's
This
definitely
was
not
a
normal
genuine
behavior.
her.
Yeah.
So the question was, where is my cousin?
Mhm.
It turns out that she was in fact possessed and was out and about while this jinn was taking her place.
Wow.
I'm 15 now. My cousin is completely fine now after her exorcism. However,
So she had an
nobody
exorcism.
will truly know what happened to her that day. Oh my God, that's so scary. What do you mean she was out and about? Like if the jinn was possessing her body. Like I'm so confused, you guys. Tell me in the comments what you think.
Okay.
Oh my God, so good. Send me more, guys.
Okay, so everything's okay. So this person's talking about a story. It's pretty scary, and at the end, she's just like, yeah, you know, wow, this is weird. But it didn't seem like she was all too scared at the end. But it is a pretty scary story. If you know anything about Indian folklore and legends, and you know, those are scary stories.
Okay, I
See if you
across
got one
this
more.
video today, and I wanted to show it to you guys. It's a very strange video by the looks of it. It looks like these people could be in India, but the whole video is about this group of people finding these creatures and trying to capture them. I don't know what to think about this video, but I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Of course, you guys are always right. If you like my content, don't forget to follow, like, and share. Let's check out the video.
Hey, that looks like the video we just saw earlier. No, but what the heck is going on here? Is that a person? It looks like there's two people, and they're walking on their limbs, and they got something going down their back. You see that? Like it's like a marking or paint.
Okay, I came across this video today, and I wanted to show it to you
One more
guys.
time.
It's a very strange video by the looks of it. It looks like these people could be in India, but the whole video is about this group of people finding these creatures and trying to capture them. I don't know what to think about this video, but I want you guys to tell me what you guys think.
That doesn't look like in Hindi. Like it says Q Kren Kus. I don't know. It doesn't. That doesn't look like Hindi. It looks like it's like in Spanish or something. Maybe it is India. I don't know. I don't know if they're whipping this thing. They're hitting it. It looks like it's in a village somewhere. Maybe they're just people, like tribes people. Maybe they're just living in the forest. And yeah, I mean, anytime you try hitting anything, they're gonna get annoyed. Okay, guys, I think that's the end of our videos. Yeah, so we went through some interesting videos today, and I want to thank you guys for joining us. And look, if you want to see more, and if you know if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you want us to talk about, any things that you want us to kind of investigate and maybe kind of air on our program, please let us know. Contact information is in the description, and I'd love to hear from you guys, and of course we'll do a shout out, so of course, like and subscribe and share with others, and we look forward to catching you guys on the next one. Thank you.